Good evening, spooks and spookettes. Count Drahoon here, and it is time for yet another feature of Fright. Before we begin tonight's show, I just wanted to remind everyone about the encore presentation of our current live show at Nick Newton's and Spinelli's in Murfreesboro, Tennessee at 5 p.m. on September 15th. The show is free, but if you become a new patron between now and September 15th, your account will buy you a slice of pizza of your choice after the show, and you will also join the ranks of the undead, which include Yancey Pearson, Rhonda Gentry, Morgan Mitchell, Lucas Lennius, Nicole Johnson, Courtney O'Halloran, Tyler Laney, and Stephen Duke. Now that is out of the way, let's get into the heart of the matter, and hopefully you won't feel the need to drive a stake through it. I stumbled into a blood drive. The black, white, and red all-over blood drive hosted at the Mayday Brewery in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Yes, I happened to be invited to a real blood drive, but I did not anticipate that the daylight would still be out. So what started out as simple media coverage turned out to be a survive-at-all-costs scenario. Here is my evening at the blood drive. Spooks and spookettes, I've had a very interesting day. And that's right, I am out here in the daylight, not in my usual form. It was hot, and I was pretty sure the ultraviolet rays were burning my skin, so I needed to take shelter immediately and to cool down. And I'm also hungry, which brings me to this blood drive. Yes, I am at the black, white, and red all-over community blood drive here at the Mayday Brewery. It just so happens that I've been plugging it for a little over a week now, but I don't believe in coincidence, so I'll be sort of in and out all day and all evening just to give you an update of what's going on. But for now, enjoy the incurring photo bombs and wish me luck, because I'm going to try to get some free samples. If this happens to go on the podcast airways, I just wanted to let everyone know I am recording an Instagram live stream. Alright, well, for those watching, a little bit of good news. Number one, I found an old friend. This is Trent Denson. He's a podcaster too. His podcast is called Spread the Positive. It's nothing like mine, is it?
Not really.
No, you don't bite people, do you?
No, nobody.
So, this is probably a very obvious question, but what do you actually do on your podcast?
We talk to people about what's going right in the world, things that are making a positive impact, positive mindset tips, stuff like that.
So, in layman's terms, you just spread the positive.
Yes. Hence the name.
You could have just stuck with that.
Yeah, that's basically it. Just trying to spread the positive.
I kid.
Yeah.
But the other bit of good news, I hope you don't mind me segueing in a sort of random bit of...
Nah, go for it.
So, they gave me a t-shirt, and of course your count is always trying to dress to impress, but they gave me this. It's a wonderful shirt. I don't know if you can read it, but it says, "All you need is blood." And that's actually very true. This whole thing has sort of devolved into a survivor's journal sort of thing. So I have to ask you, Trent, and I understand. I don't want to take advantage of our friendship. It's an awkward question. Do you think you could be a friend and maybe, just spare me a drop? No? Oh, come on.
Sorry.
I didn't want to make it weird, but...
I know.
We are friends, but okay. Well, I got you. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll see how our friendship progresses in the next year, and then I'll ask you then. Maybe we'll be a bit friendlier.
Fair enough. I would like to keep my blood inside me, if possible.
Understandable. I did sign a contract, so don't worry. I'm not going to attack you on your way out of here. So you're good.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks
good.
for being here. This is awesome. See y'all.
Oh, hello. Thanks for waving. So I'm still here at the brewery. I'm getting tired. I'm hungry. I went inside and asked if I could have just a little morsel, just a snack here, but they said no. So I think I'm taking the approach of I'm just gonna stop people on their way in and try to beg. I think that seems to be the more sensible option here. Excuse me, young lady. Can you, It's not a real person. My bloody mocha is gone. Oh, I keep shaking the table. The bloody mocha is gone, and I'm just sort of waiting, hoping for a morsel. It's wonderful to be here at the Black, White, and Red all over blood drive, but I'm just going to come out and say, inviting me to this thing and then telling me that I can't partake in any of it, it's like telling Honey Boo Boo she can't eat anything at the Golden Corral. It's just not fair. It's just not fair at all. But I'll see what I can do. The day is still young, yes? And soon it'll be evening. Time for a very, 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 very late breakfast. And, what do the kids say nowadays? Send good vibes. Yeah, just do that for me real quick. I feel like things could get really ugly soon, so I'm on the lookout. I'll check in a minute. Alright. I'm here with a friend of mine. She's sort of the coordinator of this whole shindig, and she also happens to work for the Murfreesboro Pulse. My friend Leslie Yost. Leslie, I have to say, this evening I love you, and I hate you.
I am so sorry. We asked for samples, but the American Red Cross just doesn't play that way. But we do have pizza, waffles, and ice cream.
I want to believe you, but after everything I've been through this evening, it's really hard to. Because, I mean, pizza's fine and all, but it doesn't do anything for an old vampire's stomach.
Blood is known to save lives.
I see what you did there. That was pretty smart. You're a pretty whimsical gal, ain't you?
I try.
So, I have to ask, what got you the idea to want to bring a real-life vampire to a blood drive? Because isn't that just kind of asking for it?
You know, we live in a community where we have a vampire available for such events. And it just seemed like a great tie-in.
Well, I am glad to be here. I just hope, only one critique to build on to next year. The Count should have his own refrigerator with some of the excess samples that were left over from this year's blood drive.
Well, so our community has grown by 60%. No, I believe our community has grown by 30%, and blood donation has gone down by 60%. So once we get the community out there to help fill that gap and donate more blood, hopefully we'll have some left over for you. That can be our goal. Feed a vampire, give blood. I
think that should be the title of next year's event.
We will do what we can.
Don't get me wrong, this year's event, black, white, red all over. It was clever. It's a great name. But there's, if I don't say so myself, there's a nice ring to hashtag feed Drahoon.
Absolutely. And this, the most southern thing we can do is hospitality and to feed people. We invite you in because you're a vampire, and we want to feed you.
I have gained weight since I started recording down south, so... Leslie, thank you.
Thank you so much, Count, for coming out. We really appreciate the hospitality. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate everyone who's shown up to donate blood. And hopefully we can get to the point that we'll have some extra for the Count.
Update. Still no luck. The atmosphere is a bit interesting, to say the least. We have people in the back room. Coincidentally, they're in the tasting room, getting their blood drawn, and we also have folks here at the bar. More news as it develops. I just want everyone listening to my live stream to look at these labels here. Angry Redhead, Inner Sanctum, Soul, Evil Octopus. My point being in all of that is that in addition to being a very good brewery, Mayday, it appears, also likes to trap the souls of problem customers and problem creatures, as evident by their bottle containing evil octopus and more souls. And apparently they have Inner Sanctum. I didn't know you could bottle that, but that may actually come in handy, so I may want to speak to the owner to get some tips on that. So I'll be back.
Should we turn the music down a little bit?
No, that's okay. I won't keep you on for long. Just like a quick, 2-3 minute thing. We are here with the owner of the establishment, Mayday Brewery, Mr. Ozzy Nelson. So, Ozzy, it's a bit unusual to host a blood drive in a bar, is it not?
I've never been to a blood drive at a bar, so maybe it is.
And how did you feel about bringing a vampire in the mix? Or did they even tell you?
I think there was a rumor. I wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen, but I was all for it.
So let me ask you this. For the most part, I was on my best behavior, yes?
Oh, for sure. Very good behavior.
So my invitation to this place has not been rejected yet, yes?
Absolutely not. No.
Well, perfect. All right, so you gave blood today too. How do you feel?
I feel great. It's always good to save a life.
It is, and don't worry, I won't take it personally. You didn't give any to me.
Right on. Yes, it's okay. Maybe next time.
I appreciate that. I feel like we got to let our friendship grow a little more before we're ready to cross that boundary.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Ozzy. Well, I'll go ahead and let you go, but thank you for joining me this evening.
Absolutely. If you haven't given blood, definitely go do it. It's a great thing, and it's not that bad.
A quick update on my situation. It appears my luck has turned around. This random stranger is going to give me some of his blood, aren't you? No. Please? No. Please?
Okay.
Are you sure?
No.
You said it earlier. I just want some. I'm hungry, please.
Who are you, man?
But I'm Count Drahoon. I'm a vampire. Can't you tell?
Yeah.
See, I just want some blood. I just a taste.
If I give you my blood, will you leave me alone?
Yes, that's a promise.
Consider it done.
Update. I've made friends. I've also passed out business cards. Hey, I ran into a stranger earlier who said he'd give me some of his blood, but so far he hasn't taken me up on that. I'm getting closer, I feel like. It's like a sales pitch, more or less. The more no's you get, the closer you are to yes. I think that's the old saying. Well, that's me. There's actually a pretty long line. The bar's filling up. Half are in the room draining their blood, the other filling it with alcohol. At this point, I'll take either option, whether fresh blood or alcohol. But I just want somebody to give me something. The stranger I talked to earlier, he hasn't come through for me yet, so I still have to hope that he won't forget about me. But we shall see. All right, update. I'm cooling off a bit. It's still hot and the sun's out. I'm very fortunate to be alive at this juncture, but positive. There's a few positives, yes. My friend Trent reminded me to stay positive and to spread the positive, because that's his shtick. We'll We all have our shtick, spooks and spookettes. So I am not dead. That's good. And because I'm such an old vampire, it actually takes a little bit longer for me to burn in the sun. So that's a positive, I guess. But there have been more victims behind me. But so far, no bites. But I am ever determined to meet that one person that will be so generous to give me a little something, eh? But until then, just trying to cool off under the fan. And I'm trying to think, what's another positive? I had like 5 positives in my head. Maybe it wasn't that many, but so I'm hatching a plan. There's a really nice nurse back there. I don't know if she's back there. Way back there. Short hair. She's been really nice to me, so I'm going to see if I can bribe her so she can give me some of the stuff that goes into the truck later. If that doesn't work, then I'm sorry to say that I may have to devise a plan B, which may include me knocking over a blood bank truck. But I will let you know what I decide to do. I don't know if any of that was positive. I didn't even think that was actually a thing. Well, no blood tonight, so I had to settle for pizza instead. An okay substitute, but not quite the same. The stranger from earlier, he didn't come through for me, so I'm still waiting for the last 45 minutes or so to hopefully get someone that will be so generous to donate their blood to me. But until then, more updates to come, but not many more.